The confession was still echoing when the lights came on. Adaeze and Jin-woo pressed herself against the cold metal wall of what she'd thought was a service exit. Her heart hammering so hard, she was certain he could hear it. She'd been hiding in complete darkness for what felt like hours, but was probably only minutes, listening to gunfire outside, praying the door would hold, and listening to the man on the other side of the room destroy himself with words. He'd been speaking Korean, rapid, anguished, confessing to someone on the phone. She'd understood enough, more than enough. Names of politicians, dates of assassinations, details about arms deals that could topple governments. Then the emergency power kicked in, fluorescent lights flooding the panic room, and they saw each other for the first time. He was tall, scarred, devastatingly handsome despite the tears still wet on his face. His suit was expensive, his posture screamed power, but his eyes were the most terrifying thing she'd ever seen. Not because they were cruel, because they were broken. How long have you been here? His voice was deadly calm, the anguish from seconds ago completely erased.
How long have you been here?
The gunshots. I was trying to hide. Adaeze's voice shook. You speak Korean? Not a question, an accusation. Just enough to understand what I just confessed. He moved toward her, and she realized with crystal clarity, the gunfight outside might kill her. But this man, Jin-woo, she recognized him now from the party, the host everyone treated with terrified respect. He would definitely kill her to protect his secret. We have a problem, he said softly, trapping her against the wall with his body.
We have a problem. You're a witness. And witnesses don't survive in my world.
The panic room door sealed with a hydraulic hiss. The security system's automated voice announcing in Korean, "Lockdown initiated. Release in 4 hours." 4 hours, trapped, with a man who'd just confessed to murder and looked at her like she was already dead. Hey besties. Welcome to Seoul Heart Stories. Please kindly show your encouragement by subscribing to this channel. It would mean a whole lot to me. Now, let's get back to it. Because what happens in the next 4 hours, trapped in that panic room with Jin-woo, will change both their lives in ways neither can escape. Jin-woo was 37 years old and hadn't cried in front of another person since he was 16. That was the year he watched his 14-year-old sister drugged and dragged into a van by traffickers working for a politician everyone called untouchable. That was the year he'd gone to the police, to prosecutors, to anyone who'd listen, and watched them all turn away because money and power spoke louder than a teenage boy's desperation. That was the year he'd stopped believing in justice and started building his own. By 25, he was one of Seoul's most successful arms dealers, legitimate businesses on the surface, import, export, security consulting, and weapons trafficking underneath. He sold to governments, revolutionaries, anyone with money. No sides, no morality, just profit. Until 3 years ago, when he'd finally found the politician who'd destroyed his sister. Found him, cornered him, and put a bullet in his brain personally. No middleman, no distance. Just Jin-woo and the man who'd ruined his life, settling accounts. His sister never recovered. She was found 6 months after the kidnapping, broken in ways that no amount of therapy could fix. She lived in a care facility now, barely verbal, barely present. Jin-woo visited every Sunday, sat with her, talked to her, and carried the guilt of being too late. The confession on the phone tonight was to Father Michael, his priest, the only person who knew everything, the only person Jin-woo trusted with the weight of his sins, until a terrified Nigerian event coordinator hid in his panic room and heard every word. Sit down, Jin-woo said, gesturing to the bench along the panic room wall. I'd rather stand. I'd rather you sit, so I don't have to wonder if you're going to try something stupid like attacking me. His tone was reasonable, which made it more terrifying. We're going to be here for 4 hours. Might as well be comfortable. Adaeze sat, every muscle tense. I won't tell anyone what I heard. You will. Maybe not today, maybe not intentionally, but fear makes people unpredictable, and I can't afford unpredictable right now. He sat across from her, close enough to grab her if she moved, far enough to be civilized. So let's start with introductions. You already know my name. What's yours? Adaeze Jin-woo? Nigerian? Yes. Working the party as event staff? She nodded, not trusting her voice. Wrong place, wrong time. Something almost like sympathy crossed his face. Story of your life right now.
Are you going to kill me?
The question burst out before she could stop it. Jin-woo was quiet for a long moment. I should.
It's the
smart play. Clean, simple. Your body disappears in the chaos from the gunfight. No one asks questions about the foreign event coordinator who got caught in crossfire. But you heard me crying. His jaw clenched. You heard me confessing to my priest like a pathetic child seeking absolution? And for some reason I don't understand, I'm finding it very difficult to kill someone who's seen me that weak. I won't. Stop promising things you can't guarantee. He leaned forward. Here's what's going to happen. We're trapped for 4 more hours. You're going to answer my questions honestly, and I'm going to decide whether you live or die based on those answers. Understood? Adaeze's hands were shaking. She clasped them together. Understood. Good. First question. How much Korean do you actually speak? Enough to work events. Basic conversational, not fluent. The lie tasted bitter. She was more fluent than she wanted to admit. But you understood my confession. Some of it. Not all the details. Which politician did I kill? The question was sharp, testing. Adaeze's mind raced. She'd heard the name clearly. Representative Kim Tae-jun. The man who'd disappeared 3 years ago, officially missing, unofficially dead. I don't remember the name. She lied. Jin-woo's expression shifted, disappointment mixed with knowing. Liar, but a compassionate liar, trying to make yourself seem less valuable as a witness. He almost smiled. Smart. Futile, but smart. The first hour was interrogation. Jin-woo asked questions about her life, how long she'd been in Korea, why she came, who she worked for, where she lived. Mapping her connections, evaluating her threat level. Adaeze answered carefully, trying to seem harmless. Just a Nigerian woman chasing better opportunities. No family in Korea, no political connections. Nobody who'd miss her if she disappeared. She realized too late that last part made her more killable, not less. You're alone here, Jin-woo said quietly. That's unfortunate for you. Why? Because people with families, with connections, they're complicated to eliminate. You could vanish, and no one would look too hard. The police would file a report. Your embassy would make noise for a week. Then nothing. Adaeze felt tears prick her eyes. So you are going to kill me. I haven't decided yet. He rubbed his face, exhaustion bleeding through his controlled exterior. I'm trying to find a reason not to. You're making it difficult by being so goddamn expendable. I have a mother. In Lagos. She'd miss me. Everyone has a mother. That's not enough. But something in his expression shifted. Tell me about her. Why? Because we have 3 more hours and I'm trying to see you as human instead of a problem. So talk. Tell me about your mother. So Adaeze talked about her mother, a teacher who'd worked 2 jobs to send her to university. About her younger brother studying engineering. About the life she'd built in Seoul, modest but hers, earned through hard work and determination. And Jin-woo listened, really listened, like her words mattered. "You shouldn't have hidden in here," he said finally. "You should have run when the shooting started." "I tried. This looked like an exit. It's a panic room, 5-inch steel walls, biometric locks, designed to keep people out during attacks." His laugh was bitter. "Except you locked yourself in with the most dangerous person at the party. The man you were confessing to, Father Michael? He knows everything about you?" Jin-woo's expression went cold. "You don't get to ask questions about him." "I'm just trying to understand." "Understand what? Why a murderer goes to confession? Why I still cling to a religion that says I'm damned?" He leaned closer. "I'm Catholic, Adaeze, born and raised. My mother was devout, made us go to church every Sunday, confession every month. She believed in redemption." His voice cracked. "I stopped believing the day my sister was taken, but I still confess. Still talk to Father Michael. Still hope that maybe somewhere there's forgiveness for monsters like me." "You're not a monster." "I've killed 17 people personally, sold weapons that killed thousands more, trafficked arms to warlords and dictators. I am exactly a monster." He touched her face suddenly, and she flinched. His hand dropped. "But you looked at me and saw something else. When you heard me crying, you could have stayed silent. Let me finish my confession and hope I never noticed you. But you gasped, like my pain hurt you. I'm a person. You were suffering. Of course, most people hear me suffering and feel satisfaction, justice, karma catching up." His eyes were too intense. "You felt compassion, and that's why I can't kill you, even though every logical bone in my body says I should." The second hour, they talked about his sister. Jin-woo showed her photos on his phone, a beautiful girl with bright eyes and her whole life ahead of her. Then later photos. A woman with vacant eyes, damaged beyond what any rehabilitation could fix. She was 14, he said, his voice hollow. Loved dancing. Wanted to be a choreographer. Representative Kim saw her at a school performance. Decided she was his type. Sent his men 3 days later. I'm so sorry. Your sorry doesn't change anything. But his voice wasn't angry, just tired. I spent 7 years finding everyone involved. The traffickers, the buyers, the politicians who looked the other way. I killed them all. Slowly, painfully. And it didn't make me feel better. Didn't bring her back. Just made me better at violence. Is that why you still confess? Because the revenge didn't help? I confess because I need someone to know the truth. Need someone to say out loud that I'm damned, so I stop hoping I'm not. He looked at her. And now you know too. You heard my confession. Which means you carry my damnation with you. I don't want that burden. Neither do I. But here we are. He checked his watch.
2 hours left.
2 hours left.
Then we face the real question.
What question?
What question? Whether I let you walk out of here or make sure you never speak to anyone again. Adaze's throat closed. You said you couldn't kill me. I said it's difficult, not impossible. But his expression was conflicted. Tell me something. If our positions were reversed, if you had information that could destroy me, and I was begging you to stay silent, would you? I don't know. Honest answer. I appreciate that. He was quiet for a long moment. I'm going to offer you a third option, one that might let us both survive this. What? Option? You work for me, as my personal assistant, live in my home, accompany me everywhere, be monitored 24/7, In exchange, I don't kill you, and I make sure no one else does either. Adaese's stomach dropped. That's just Captivity with a nicer name. Yes, but it's better than dead. His eyes were intense. I can't let you go free knowing what you know. But I also... He stopped, struggled. I also don't want to kill someone who looked at me with compassion when everyone else sees a monster. So this is the compromise. You're mine, but you're alive. For how long? Until I trust you, or until you try to betray me, and I'm forced to eliminate you. He extended his hand.
Do we have a deal?
Do we have a deal? Adaeze looked at his hand, scarred, powerful, offering a devil's bargain. Freedom or survival? Death or captivity? She thought about her mother, her brother, the life she'd built. She took his hand. Deal. The panic room unlocked exactly 4 hours after the shooting started. Jin-woo's men were waiting outside, 6 of them armed, looking at Adaeze with expressions that ranged from curious to hostile. She's under my protection, Jin-woo announced. Anyone touches her answers to me. Clear? The men nodded, but their eyes said they didn't understand. Why would their boss protect a random event coordinator? The penthouse was chaos. Bodies being removed, blood being cleaned, evidence disappearing with professional efficiency. Adaeze watched in horror as Jin-woo's world revealed itself, not just violence, but the machinery that made violence invisible. Don't look, Jin-woo said quietly, guiding her through the carnage. This isn't for you to see. But I have to live in this world now. No, you have to live in my world. There's a difference. His hand on her back was gentle despite the circumstances. I'll keep the violence away from you. You're not part of that. You're... He stopped, searched for words. You're something different. You're prisoner. My responsibility. He led her to a car, opened the door for her. We're going to my home. You'll have your own room, privacy, anything you need within reason. But you don't leave without me. Don't contact anyone without supervision. Don't make me regret keeping you alive. The drive to his estate was silent. Adaeze watched Seoul pass by, wondering if this was the last time she'd see it as a free woman. His home was a compound. Walls, gates, guards. Inside, it was beautiful. Traditional Korean architecture mixed with modern luxury. A gilded cage if she'd ever seen one. Your room. He opened a door to reveal a space larger than her entire apartment. Bathroom through there. Closet is stocked. If you need anything else, tell me. What about my apartment? My things? Already being collected. You'll have everything by tomorrow. He paused at the door. For what it's worth, Adaeze, I am sorry. I know this isn't the life you chose. But it's the life you're forcing on me. Yes, because the alternative is killing you. And I've killed enough innocent people. He met her eyes. You saw me at my weakest, heard my confession, know my worst sins. I can't let you go. But I also won't make you suffer more than necessary. That's the best I can offer. He left her alone then, locked in luxury, trapped by circumstances neither of them wanted. Adaeze sat on the bed, too soft, too expensive, and finally let herself cry. The first week of captivity was surreal. Jin-woo kept his word about privacy. She had her own space, her own bathroom, access to everything except freedom. But he was always there, at breakfast, during the day when she tried to find ways to occupy herself, at dinner where they ate in uncomfortable silence. You can read, he said one evening, gesturing to his library. Watch movies, use the gym, whatever you want. Except leave. Except leave. He poured whiskey, didn't offer her any. I'm not trying to torture you. I'm trying to find a balance between security and humanity. There is no balance. I'm your prisoner. You're my responsibility. There's a difference. Explain it to me then. Explain how this isn't captivity. Jin-woo was quiet for a long moment. You know things that could destroy me. That could get me arrested, executed, or killed by rivals who'd love to use that information. Every intelligence agency in 3 countries would pay millions for what you heard in that panic room. So yes, I'm keeping you here. But I'm also keeping you alive. Because the moment you're out of my protection, you're dead. Not by my hand, by theirs. That's just another form of control. It's reality. He leaned forward. I've already intercepted 2 inquiries about you. Intelligence services asking why an event coordinator disappeared the night of a shootout at my property. I told them you were traumatized, needed privacy, were staying with me voluntarily. They didn't believe me, but they can't prove otherwise. Yet. Adaeze felt cold. So I'm not just your prisoner, I'm a target. Yes, which is why you stay close to me, where I can protect you. Or control me. Both. He finished his whiskey. I'm not going to lie to you, Adaeze. This situation is complicated. You're here because I can't risk letting you go. But you're also here because He stopped, jaw clenching. Because I don't want you to die. Is that control or protection? I honestly don't know anymore. That night, Adaeze lay in her expensive prison and thought about escape. But where would she go? Her apartment was compromised. The embassy would ask questions she couldn't answer. And if what Jin-woo said was true about intelligence agencies, she was trapped, not just by him, by the information she carried. Week 2, things shifted. Jin-woo started talking to her. Not just surveillance conversations, but real talks. About his business, the legitimate parts, carefully avoiding details that could implicate her further. About his sister, who he visited every Sunday. About the weight of running an empire built on violence. Why do you keep telling me these things? Adaeze asked one evening. They were on his terrace, the city spread out below like stars. Because you're the only person who's heard my confession. The only one besides Father Michael who knows what I've done. He didn't look at her. Keeping it all inside, it's killing me. But I can't confess to my men. Can't show weakness. He stopped. You're the only safe person to talk to. Because you're already trapped. Already know the worst of me. That's using me as your therapist. Not treating me like a person. I know. His voice was rough. I know it's selfish. But I'm a selfish man, Adaeze. I've built my life on taking what I need to survive. And right now, I need someone who won't flinch when I talk about the blood on my hands. I do flinch. But you don't leave. Can't leave. He finally looked at her. I'm sorry for trapping you, for making you carry my burden, for all of it. The apology shouldn't have mattered. But it did. Week 3, he took her to meet his sister. You don't have to come, he said as they drove to the care facility. This is personal. But I think she might like meeting you. The facility was beautiful, expensive, everything money could buy. His sister, Ji-won, sat by a window, staring at nothing. She was beautiful too, in a broken way that made Adaeze's heart ache. Jin-woo sat beside her, took her hand, started talking. About his week, about business, about Adaeze. She's staying with me now. You'd like her. She's kind, brave, stronger than she knows. Ji-won didn't respond, but something in her expression shifted when Jin-woo mentioned Adaeze, a flicker of awareness. Talk to her, Jin-woo said quietly. Please. She hasn't responded to anyone in months, but maybe a woman's voice? Adaeze sat on Ji-won's other side, started talking about Nigeria, about dancing. She remembered from the photos that Jiwon loved dancing, about music and movement and the joy of creating something beautiful. And Jiwon's hand twitched, just slightly. But it was something. Jin-woo's breath caught. She moved. Did you see? I saw. Adaeze kept talking, gentle and calm, and watched as tears slowly slid down Jiwon's cheeks. In the car afterward, Jin-woo was silent. When they arrived back at the estate, he finally spoke. Thank you for reaching her. No one's done that in years. She's still in there, just trapped. Like you. The parallel wasn't lost on either of them. Both trapped by my actions. She's trapped by trauma. I'm trapped by circumstance. Adaeze touched his arm. They're not the same. Aren't they? Both of you prisoners because I failed to protect what mattered. His voice cracked. I was too late for her. And now I'm trapping you to make up for it. It's sick. I'm sick. You're damaged, not sick. The distinction mattered. And you're trying. That counts for something. Jin-woo looked at her then with an expression that made her breath catch. Gratitude, longing, something dangerous blooming between them. You should hate me, he whispered. I should, but I'm finding it surprisingly difficult. Month 2, everything changed. An intelligence agency tried to kidnap Adaeze from the estate. 4 operatives, professional, coordinated. They got past the outer security before Jin-woo's inner team stopped them. The violence was swift and absolute. Jin-woo himself killed 2 of them, execution style, right in front of her. Afterward, covered in blood, not his own, he turned to her. You see now? You see why I can't let you go? They'll never stop hunting you. Never stop trying to extract what you know. Adaeze was shaking, traumatized by the violence. How do you live like this? I don't know anymore. He looked at his bloody hands like they belonged to someone else. I've been doing it so long, I forgot there was another way. She should have run screaming, should have begged him to let her go despite the danger. Instead, she found herself crossing to him, taking his hands, leading him to the bathroom to wash off the blood. What are you doing? His voice was hoarse. Taking care of you, because someone has to. She ran water, started cleaning his hands gently. You saved my life tonight. Again. I should thank you. I'm the reason you need saving. I know, but you're also the only one keeping me alive. She looked up at him. That's the most twisted part of this. I'm falling for my captor. Stockholm Syndrome textbook case. Is it Stockholm Syndrome if I'm falling too? His wet hands cupped her face. I was supposed to keep you here until I could trust you enough to let you go. But I can't. Not because you're a threat. Because He stopped, breathing hard. Because I love you. And I don't know if that's real or if it's just loneliness and guilt creating something that shouldn't exist. Adaze's heart was racing. I don't know either, but I know that when I heard them breaking in tonight, my first thought was, I need to get to Jin-woo. Not, this is my chance to escape. You. I wanted you. That's not healthy. None of this is healthy, but it's real. She pulled his face down to hers. We're both damaged people in an impossible situation. But maybe that's exactly why we understand each other. The kiss was inevitable, desperate. 2 broken people finding something whole in each other. When they broke apart, Jin-woo pressed his forehead to hers. I'll never let you go. You know that, right? Even if you want to leave someday, I won't be able to. I'm too selfish, too damaged. Then I won't ask to leave. She kissed him again. I'll stay. Not because I'm forced to, but because despite everything, I choose you. That's insane. You confessed to murder. I fell in love with you anyway. We passed insane months ago. 6 months later, they were still navigating the impossible. Adaeze was no longer a prisoner in the technical sense. She had freedom of movement, access to everything, could leave if she chose. But she stayed, helping with Jin-woo's legitimate businesses. Visiting Ji-won weekly, who continued to respond to her voice more than anyone else's. Building a life in the cage that had become home. Father Michael wants to meet you, Jin-woo said one Sunday after confession. The priest who hears your confessions? Why? Because I confessed that I'm in love with you. And he said he needs to meet the woman who saved my soul. Jin-woo's smile was self-deprecating. His words, not mine. I don't think souls like mine can be saved. Everyone can be saved. That's the whole point of confession. Is it? Or is it just making yourself feel better while continuing to sin? Both, probably. She took his hand. But trying is better than not trying, and you're trying. For your sister. For me. That counts. The meeting with Father Michael was intense. The priest, older, kind-eyed, world-weary, looked at Adaeze like he was trying to see into her soul. You know what he is, Father Michael said. What he's done. I heard his confession, all of it. And you love him anyway? And I love him anyway. The admission was easier now. I shouldn't. I know that. But love doesn't follow logic. No, it follows need, and you both need each other in ways that aren't entirely healthy. But the priest smiled. But then, most great love stories are built on needs that look like madness from the outside. He looked at Jin-woo. Just keep confessing. Keep trying to be better. Don't let love become an excuse for more sin. Later, in the car, Jin-woo was quiet. Do you regret it? Adaeze asked. Keeping me? Everything that came after? I regret how it started. The terror I put you through. The choice I stole. He pulled over, turned to face her. But I don't regret where we ended up. Is that selfish? Incredibly selfish. Can you forgive me for it? Adaeze looked at this man who'd trapped her, protected her, broken her, and somehow made her whole. I already did. The moment I realized loving you wasn't a weakness, but a choice. When was that? When you washed the blood off your hands and looked at me like I was salvation. She touched his face. You needed me to see you as human. I needed you to see me as a choice, not a captive. We gave each other what we needed. That's the most twisted romantic thing I've ever heard. We're a twisted romantic story. She kissed him. But we're ours. 1 year after the panic room, Adaeze stood in Jin-woo's study while he burned files. Evidence of crimes. Confessions written down. Everything that could be used against him if the wrong people found it. Why now? She asked. Because I'm getting out, selling the arms business, keeping the legitimate companies, becoming the man Father Michael keeps telling me I could be. He looked at her. I can't undo what I've done, can't bring back the people I've killed, but I can stop adding to the body count. What changed? You and Ji-won, and realizing that I've spent so long being damned that I forgot to try for redemption. He pulled her close. I'm still a bad man, Adaeze, still have blood on my hands that will never wash clean, but I'm trying to be better. For you, for her, for the life we're building. I never asked you to change. I know, that's why I want to. He kissed her forehead. You loved me at my worst. Let me see if I can earn that love at my best. It wasn't a fairy tale ending. It was complicated, messy, built on a foundation of confession and captivity. But it was real. And sometimes, real is enough. Besties, if this story consumed you, if you felt every moment of terror turning to trust, captivity becoming choice, hit that like button. Subscribe for more forced proximity that becomes real love and dark romance that doesn't apologize for being complicated. Comment. Would you have fallen for your captor? Or is love built on captivity always wrong? I need your honest thoughts because this story challenges everything. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving stories about broken people finding each other in impossible circumstances. Until next time, remember that sometimes the person who traps you is the only one who truly sets you free. Welcome to Soul Hearts Stories.